Hey,
Hello. Are we live? Oh, yes, we are live. How are we doing, everybody? Happy Monday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Monday.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Where are you
Monday,
from?
Wednesday, Friday.
Alaska?
Hey, maybe someone's listening to this on Friday. Maybe they're a few days late.
There you go. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're
night.
from. So, we got Josh stepping in this week for Johnny. As some of you may have known last week, Johnny is in San Diego this week.
Not bad.
So if you see him out there, make sure you give him a hard time, please. Fucking thinks he deserves a vacation. Fuck that.
Fuck you, fucker.
Fuck you, fucker. And John, I know you ain't watching, but if you were, fuck you, fucker. So Josh is gonna be in this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday's episodes. Dante's gonna read the topics. He's gonna read the comments, all that other bullshit. I'm back. I've missed the last couple episodes between house crap and getting your mugs out the freaking door, which we're still working on here. Yep. I was not here on Friday because it is official. I am a new house owner right now.
Woo! Congratulations.
Thank you. It is, let me tell you, on a serious note, it was very emotional walking into that house on Saturday. It was,
awesome. I can imagine.
It was.
I bet it's a great feeling. I can't relate, but I bet it's great.
It is, there's this thing about owning a home that it's like, all the hard work that you put into getting to this point is just like surreal.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow,
It's like
I
full
own a
circle.
home. I own a home.
Hey, that's where all the years of hard work leads
Yep.
to, Nick. And
Yep.
two, you have to think about it. All the shit you went through the last few months, it's just a relief. It's a relief more than anything as well.
So just to give a quick recap to those who give a shit,
we all give a shit.
I went to 23 open houses.
Jordan, shout out Michael Jordan.
23.
Jordan number.
In all areas of Massachusetts. We are not going to name towns because I'm going to keep that disclosed. I don't need no Pop Smoke shit happening.
Gracious.
Well, I mean, like, he's not wrong. I mean, he's not
Yeah,
wrong.
don't put your address out to people.
Don't
I
air it
mean,
out.
Don't put your address out there. Yeah.
I ain't lying.
No, you're not.
So we're gonna R.I.P. to
way
Pop
that I
Smoke.
would.
I fucking love Pop Smoke. I'm just saying. I don't need a Pop Smoke thing happening to me.
I'm a bitch, yo. Ass fat, jello. I'm the king of New York, mellow.
His voice is
I'm the king
hysterical.
of New York.
Great. Mellow. I love that.
6
style.
offers on a house. Lucky number 6 made it, and I negotiated this deal 3,000 miles away.
Yeah,
I was in California
30,000
when I did it.
miles, closer to God.
That's
right.
right. 30,000 closer to
God.
Jesus.
Closer
Yep,
to Jesus.
closer to
Excuse
Jesus.
me.
So we finally got it. It is in the books. It is in there. It is done. So I am the newest homeowner in the state of Massachusetts. That's the only thing you're ever getting out of me. That's it.
Let's go.
Done.
That's all we need.
That's all I need to
That's
know.
it.
That's all I need.
So without further ado, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on. And, yeah, it's a very, very...
Bless you.
It's a very emotional. It was a very emotional week. It was funny. I was working out this morning, and just a couple times I started to cry up because I'm still because sometimes it
hasn't
takes
hit
like
you.
2 or 3 days to kind of
I mean, you've
really
only-
soak in a shit.
You've only been
I
in the
own a
house for a few days.
I don't know a fucking house.
Wild.
Yeah, you've only been in the
So,
house.
but yep. As much as I love my fans, I'm not giving you my address. I don't think any of you will come and shoot me, but I ain't taking that chance.
Crazy world we live in. Crazy world.
So I'm not doing that. So without further ado, make sure you like and subscribe. We got episode 431 in this bitch?
4:30.
4:30.
4:30. All right, 4:30. So Dante's going to read you some topics. He's going to read you some stuff that's coming out. Make sure you fill him up. Simon's over there. He's locking it down over there. If you got anything you want to say to us, make sure you do. Make sure you put an animal fact of the day in there. I will make sure to hit it. So speaking of that, real quick before you go, I'm sorry. This is more my house thing. I'm just on this rant.
Hey, keep going.
Okay? This isn't even the real rant I wanted to talk about. But I will say that the neighbors told me, and I shit you not, they said there's a family of bears that live in the area.
Really?
They said that there's a mama black bear, and then there's a couple other black bears behind them, little couple black bears.
Hey,
And they're living there. And the other thing they've seen a moose.
no.
a
In
moose.
Massachusetts?
They've seen a moose.
No.
A lot of people
Not
go their
seen a moose.
entire lives without seeing a
in
moose.
Massachusetts?
They said they've seen a moose.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously,
Hey.
deers are fucking everywhere. That's beyond the point.
If you're
Deers, turkeys, a
you're
moose.
home, Juliet's home, and they see that, they better take a fucking picture.
Oh, you bet your ass I will.
Oh, you better keep rocking inside too with those bears.
Fucking shit.
Keep rocking inside.
I'll tell you one thing. If I see a moose, I will be happy, but I also might be pissing out a river out of my pants.
I mean, they're massive. I mean, I'm sure they're a lot bigger in
They're
person too.
huge.
Ugh.
I don't think I'll ever see a moose in my life. It's just one of those things.
I am making
it's
it a
like-
point.
Huh? What? Where?
He said that's a Hampshire.
In New Hampshire?
Yeah, I've
New
seen a
Hampshire.
few.
Big ass thing running around. Got closer.
How big was
What
it?
do you think it was? You want to keep going closer to it?
Let me get a good look at it.
It was like towards me. I was just on the road.
I've seen probably moose on 3 separate occasions. It's like 10, 12 feet. It's
Well,
pretty big.
you went to school in
You've
Maine.
seen three
Yeah, I went to
mooses?
school
was in
in
Maine
I went to
for
school in
That
Maine.
makes
So
sense.
5 years in Maine.
That makes
yeah.
sense. You probably saw mooses humping.
Probably
when you were
saw
drunk.
Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, that's what we do out there for fun. We just
I
watch
saw.
mooses hump.
I've seen them being conceived in Maine. All right.
All right, please go
all right.
ahead. I'm all done now.
All right,
I'm
no
all done.
problem.
I had to throw that out there since it was animal fact.
No problem. All right. Anyone listening, obviously, we're live on Patreon today. We are live on Patreon Mondays and Wednesdays. On Fridays, we are live on YouTube. But if you want to get behind, the paywall, you want to join the conversation here, be a part of, the beautiful people in this chat. I don't know who's in there, but I can imagine like Sonny, Amanda, Dwayne Bacon, all the usual suspects in there. Obviously, there's probably some more people in there, but I know we have our regulars. But if you want to be a part of them, be a part of the group, get behind the paywall, so you can throw in comments. You want us to talk about stuff, all that. And we have no videos coming out today, but that doesn't mean that you still shouldn't check out our YouTube channel. No, you're good. Check out our other platforms, obviously TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Put your notification bells on YouTube, so when we do drop videos, you get to watch them as soon as they come out. And yeah, I think that's all we got today. Nick, since I came in this morning, I think the first thing you said to me was that you had something you wanted to talk about with the Boston Celtics. So, you did a great job here with the topics, Simon. But I'm gonna have to move some things around here because we're gonna have to make room for Nick's.
Sorry, I gotta get it off.
By all means.
gotta get it off.
Nick's got to get this off his chest. So Nick.
Before-
Been waiting all week.
Been waiting for this.
Okay.
And I already know, Nick. I just want. I know. I feel like I'm gonna have a response to this, but I want you.
I am happy to have a response.
But I want you to air out. I want you to get everything off your chest,
Okay.
everything that's on your mind. I'm gonna let you speak freely, and then
Yes.
once you're done, you let me know, and then I'll jump in.
Sounds
that
like
sound
a deal.
good? All right.
Sounds like a
Sounds
deal.
good.
Shake it like men. Shake it like men. There you go.
Where's
Hey,
yours?
Shake it
All
like
right.
men.
Let's do it.
All right. So before I start, Simon, good job with the topics. I don't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
of
I'm
course.
going to.
It's
Okay.
more important.
I'm going
All right.
to.
We all know what happened last week. If you live under a rock, you don't know. But I think all of us don't live under rocks. The Boston Celtics were eliminated on Thursday night at the Garden by the Golden State Warriors. Now, let me just say this. Golden State, they deserved it. They played better. They were the better team in the series, hands down. They might not have been the most talented, but they were the better team that series, hands down. Now, let me go on my little fucking rant. Mr. Wannabe Superstar, Mr. Zero in your hearts, Jason Pissface Pussy Tatum. I got one question for you, and I'm going to say shit that Stephen A. Smith can't say on ESPN because he's got to be publical. I'm not going to be publical.
Publical.
He has to be professional.
Professional,
Yeah,
whatever.
same thing. Same
Same thing.
Same thing.
Professional.
Same difference.
All right? You can be a pussy about how you say it. I'm not. And if you want to talk to me, Stephen A., you know where to fucking find me, you motherfucker. Fucking invite me on your fucking show. No, I'm talking about fucking here. You fucking come here or you fly out to New York and I'll be on your fucking first take. I'll
Oh,
fucking...
Nick, if
Man,
you
the
ever
fucking
showed
first
up on
take.
First Take, I think they'd have the highest ratings they've ever had on that show.
Oh, him and Stephen, I'm telling you, Stephen A. and I would fucking go to war. I would fucking slice his fucking throat off.
Before you keep going, one thing. So Kevin Garnett had a halftime show. It was called the KG Show or something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that. It was
yeah,
like
like
TNT
that,
show.
yeah.
And he always had a buzzer. So when he swore, he would hit it and it would like bleep himself out. You would need a million of those. You would need a million of those. I don't think people would know what you're saying, honestly, because you just have to keep beeping it out. But all right,
It's okay.
keep going.
It's all
Keep
right.
going.
No, it's
I
okay. It's all right. No,
apologize.
no,
Keep
no.
going.
Don't ever apologize. It's okay. I respect it. I respect it. All right. So, where were you? Were you on Mars? It's like Finding Waldo.
He was smoking
I didn't see
cases.
him on the fucking court. Did any of you see fucking Jason Tatum on the fucking court? You're supposed to be a top 5 fucking player. This is fucking Boston. You want to be a fucking legend in this bitch? Well, you just became a bitch. No legend. You're only 24 years old, and he's gonna fucking say, "Oh, he's 24 years old." Let me fucking tell you something, Jason Tatum, you didn't show up. Yeah, you better shut that fucking door, because I'm going on a fucking rant. I'm telling you something, Jason Tatum. If you're fucking listening to this, I don't give a shit. I'm telling you right now, you didn't show up,
If you're not
and you
listening.
fucking cost us a fucking championship. I'm fucking pissed. We're 2 fucking wins away from having another fucking championship. And I'm fucking pissed. I'm fucking pissed. Jason Tatum, you scored 13 fucking points. My fucking dog could score 13 points in that fucking game. You fucking dribble? You know how to fucking dribble? Did you get taught that in AAU? What are we doing? You guys sucked. And it started with you. And you fucking melted down like a little bitch. Fucking Beverly Hills 90210 fucking bullshit. Where were you? Fucking, I want to tear this fucking camera down. Fucking bullshit. If he showed up, we would have won this fucking series. Where were you? Oh, I'm a facilitator, huh? Facilitate these fucking nuts. I like cashews and peanuts, bitch. Facilitate that. I'm so fucking hot right now about this. I've been thinking
You're
about this
red
the
in
whole
the-
fucking weekend.
You're red in the face,
I'm sitting
dude.
there and I'm signing my papers and I go, I can't wait to get on that fucking show on Monday and rip him a new asshole. I'm like a fucking mass murderer fucking slicing up the fucking evidence.
He's been talking about this all day.
This is fucking bullshit. We should have had banner number 18, but no. Let's not show up when it matters most. You know what happens to me if I don't show up? I get fucking fired. Get fucking fired, you fuck. Where were you? And oh, by the way, this is my last little rant and I'm done. Jason Tatum is not a top 5 NBA player. Better yet, I got a better one for you. Jason Tatum is not a top 10 NBA player. And I'm going to tell you why before everybody goes, and I'm going to let everybody have a speak of their mind. Just give me 2 more minutes.
All right, you got it.
You got it.
I told you. Say
Yeah,
whatever
you
you
got all
had
the
to
time
say.
you need.
He is not consistent enough, and that to me is everything. Don't tell me about injuries. Don't tell me about bullshit. You're 24 years old. Figure it the fuck out. Steph Curry is 10 years older than him, and he played more minutes than he did. All right? And Steph Curry's a different animal. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm not taking anything away from Stephen Curry. But where were you? You're supposed to be the guy. Jaylen Brown, great player. But he's not the guy according to everybody. Jason Tatum's the guy. If Jason Tatum was the guy, I think we win this series. And yes, there's blame to be across with turnovers from Brown and smartness, but it all starts with your superstar. It all starts with your superstar. That's the NBA. Fucking drama 1.20. 6'9". Fuck it.
1.2069.
They're all fucking bitches in the NBA. Who's got the better skirt on? That's all it is. Who's got the better panty lines? That's it.
That's a great question.
And I'll tell you
Great
what,
question.
he ain't got no good panty lines.
No.
No.
No. Not a good. Not
No.
good.
No. So, without further ado, this is coming from a real Bostonian. We cut up our players when you don't do well. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of my face. I'm done.
You done?
That last thing you said, I agree with the most. The Bostonian. If you're bad, you're gonna hear it. You're
Yeah, I'm gonna
100%
hear it.
gonna hear it.
And I want to say on the record that when things are good, I definitely praise. But when things go bad, I do what Bostonians are supposed to do and carve you a new asshole.
Josh,
That's what we do.
do you want to say something
Floor is
first?
fucking everybody else's but mine, damn it.
I'll go really quickly.
Okay.
I only want to say
Give me a
2 things.
Okay.
2 things.
Okay.
I'll say it because you're going to say it first anyway, or you're going to say it right after me. He's 24 years old. There's been like a very, 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 very small list of 24-year-olds to carry a team to a championship. Last time I can remember one is Dwayne Wade in 06, I think. Dwayne Wade was like 23, 24 and carried him to a
say Shaq,
championship. But like, it's so rare for a guy that young to do it. That being said, he's been to the Eastern Conference Finals a few times now. He's young in age, but he's got experience. So I agree. Like, we were expecting a lot more, and we didn't get much. Second thing, and this is to your credit, he literally didn't look like he knew how to, like, He looked like he was disconnected. He didn't sit with the players at timeouts in Game 6. He didn't talk to his teammates. He didn't say anything about like how fired up about he was before the game or after the game. I don't know. I definitely feel like Jason Tatum checked out mentally, but I don't want to throw this all on him because I don't want to see him leave. I'd much rather have him than not have him. That's for sure.
You got him for 5 more years.
We got it for like 3 more, I think.
3,
yeah.
player option, but that no one picks that up, so it's 3. But all right, you good, Josh?
Yeah, all you, Dante.
All right. I just want a clarification.
That's all you got for me?
He's going now. He's got some stuff.
Before I get into anything, I just want to say
I
this.
agreed with a lot of it.
When I bring up specific players in what I'm about to say, specific players and arguments, I am no way, shape, or form comparing. I am just simply talking about the history of basketball. That's it. In the entire history of basketball, and I'm kind of going off what you said, Josh, it is a very small list of players around Tatum's age that actually led a team to a championship. You look at the all-time greats, like the GOAT, Michael Jordan. I'm looking at it right here. It took him 4 years to make it out of the first round of the playoffs. And again, I'm not comparing. I'm just saying, when you're young, it's hard to, make it go the distance, make it as far as, the finals and whatnot. And I know, Nick, like the whole, he's 24 and this and that. He's only 20. He's 2 months older than me. You want me to go out there and lead a team to an NBA champ? Like,
You're as good as that, you better.
It's
You
like-
give me 4 seats.
Jason Tatum, when you're that young, it's very hard to, unless you're cut from a different cloth. He's no Michael Jordan. He's no LeBron James.
He ain't Kobe either.
He ain't Kobe either. It's very hard to be the leader of a team, especially, I'm not, and Tatum did have a very bad series against the Golden State Warriors. I'm not defending his play or anything like that, because you're correct. He did have a bad series. But you kind of have to look at it both ways here. Did I say the Celtics were going to win in 7 games? Of course I did. I'm a Celtics fan. I'm going to go down with the ship until the very end. That's how I'm always going to be.
It went down.
Always. It went down, but I'm going to go down with it. At the end of the day, the Celtics lost to a team that won 3 championships in the past. They're a proven dynasty. Whether or not you want to bring up the whole, they have KD or not, 'cause I know we've talked about that before. Regardless of who they had on their team at that moment in time, they've been there. They know what they have to do, and we've talked about it. In times when the Celtics were gassed, they were tired. The Warriors didn't, because they knew how to balance things out. They've been there. They know how to respond to runs. They know how to respond to when they blow big leads, like the Celtics were down 20. They came back, and when they came back, they were exhausted. Warriors ran away with it. The Boston Celtics, this experience for them, win or lose, obviously lose here, but whether they won or lost is as valuable of an experience as you can ever get. Now, I would have much rather have them lost in Game 6. And I had this argument with a kid from my hometown who he tries to argue with me about Celtic stuff and it's stupid arguments. But I'm like, he was upset that they lost in the finals. Like, I was happy. I was upset that they lost, but I was happy they made it this far. And he goes, how could you be happy that they lost in the finals? Well, they were 1 game away from, they were 3-2 in the second round against the Bucks when they didn't have Chris Middleton. They lost Game 6. They lost in that round. I would have been bullshit because they should have made it to the finals. They made it to Game 7 against the Heat, and if they lost there, that would have been worse because you were that close to make it to the finals and you've never made it there before. I would much rather the Celtics make it as far as the finals and lose, even get swept, than lose in the first round or something like that, because you still gain so much experience from that. And just to defend Tatum a little bit more, for a 24-year-old, he's made it to 4 Eastern Conference Finals. He's won gold medals. He's been all-star team starters. It's hard. I understand people are saying he's not that guy right now after coming off that performance. It's you look at that, you see that performance, and that's what you want to think. But again, it goes back to the whole, it was his first time in the finals. And again, no comparing. And when you look at LeBron's very first finals series against the San Antonio Spurs when they got swept, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but there was a graphic. Side by side, nearly identical. Nearly identical. Again, I'm not comparing. I'm just talking about the history here. When you're that young and you go up against LeBron went up against the dynasty and the Spurs. You go up against a team tough like that, I had my high hopes, but you can't expect them to win. The Warriors were meant to win that series. It would have been if the Celtics won, more people would have said, more people would have talked shit about the Warriors losing than the Celtics winning, I think. I think people have been like, the Warriors blew that one. They should have been the team to win.
I would have said time to break up the dynasty.
And people would have the narrative would have been a lot different at this point. Now I'm hearing things like trade Tatum, he's not that guy, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. But I have seen on social media people say these things. Guys, I don't think people really understand the idea. Like, yes, he didn't have a great series, but he is the star of the team. You get rid of Jason Tatum, I'm sorry. You want Jaylen Brown to be your number one? I love Jaylen Brown, but he is not a number one. If you get rid of Jason Tatum, you're back to being, you're going to be a playoff team, but you're going to be a very irrelevant team that makes the playoffs every year, loses in the first round, maybe second round every year. You can't start freaking out like that. There are changes they have to make, but you don't get rid of the core. You know what you got with Marcus, Jalen, Jason, Horford, and Rob. You build off of this. Teams that make it to the finals, win or lose, they get that taste. Tatum and Brown, after they lost, they stayed on the court and kind of took it in, that feeling of defeat, because you don't want to feel that again. You feel something like this, whether you win, you get that taste, you want to win again. You lose, you get that feeling, you never want to lose again. So I think the Celtics are going to be better because of this.
They lost twice.
Bad games.
They lost three times in a row.
And they were very inconsistent. I agree with you. I agree with you with the whole inconsistent part with Jason Tatum, because even if you look at the regular season, not even counting the postseason, he starts the season in January, if we're being completely honest with you. If he started the season when the season's on time, he could be a top 3 MVP candidate every year, being dead serious. I mean, the run he went on in the second half was insane. He does need to be more consistent, especially when you're going to be the star of the team and a team that's meant to be a finals contender in the years to come. But this isn't an end of the world thing. I'm just happy they got there in the first place. Like I said, rather them lose there than earlier, when I know they should have made it to the finals. So Tatum, I think, bad series, like you said, but I think this is a big growing learning curve for him, and I genuinely think that the Celtics are going to be a lot better because of this. Now, I'm done. If anyone wants to respond to that, combat that.
You better show them more heart.
Because in
Heart is heart.
Boston,
Talent is talent. Heart is heart.
Boston fans are brutal. They'll rip you
I
apart.
think that was the most jarring thing for me,
can't
was
tell
how
me he
little
showed heart in
emotion he
that.
showed.
He didn't show any heart.
show anything really to me. Yeah, I mean, you can be as good as you want, but if you don't show emotion, your fans still aren't gonna like you that much.
Right.
You got to show emotion.
Hey, they were booing them in Game 6, and they
heard.
should have been. They should have been
heard.
booed. So, yeah, it's a lot. There's something like this.
They'll reload.
It creates a narrative.
They'll reload
something
for
like
next
this.
year. We're one of the better teams. It's going to be us, the Nets, or the Bucks next year. Unless the Sixers do some crazy shit, or one of these other teams do some crazy shit. It's going to be us, the Sixers, or the Bucks. Oh, I'm sorry, us, the Nets, or the
But
Bucks.
here's the thing: you have no guarantees of going back.
That's true.
Neither do
Very
they,
true.
though.
Very true. There's no guarantees of going back, but you have to be encouraged from something like this. You can't just assume it's over now.
I think Miami's going to get significantly better because I think they're.
Why? People keep saying that. Why?
They got to make a move if they're going to do that.
Oh, you know.
They got to make a move.
I believe this is what I think. I think there's a big name. I don't know who.
It'd be Bradley Beal.
There's a big name going to Miami.
Beal or
It'd be
Mitchell.
Bradley Beal.
If
He'd be
Beal
like
or
the only
Mitchell.
one that could do it.
If someone's
There's
going
a
there,
big
it's
name
Beal or
going to
Mitchell.
Miami. Pat Riley's making a move.
Even if he goes there, Butler leaves. And then you're back to square one. You lost the guy who kept bringing you there. I don't know. I feel like Miami's stuck where they are right now.
You're
We'll
kind of
see
in
what
limbo.
happens.
But anyways, that's the Boston Celtics. Simon, are there any
Also,
comments?
Do you want, going forward, do you want Bam Adebayo or Robert Williams as center?
I mean, right now, Bam is significantly better. But
I would
if you're
still
looking
I would take
I
Robert
mean,
Williams.
I mean, long
From what
term,
I've
I'll
seen
probably
recently-
pick Rob, but right now, I'm picking Bam.
Oh, from what I've seen from Bam recently, he looks like he's already maxed out at what he's good at. And he's not that good at anything. He's just decent at everything. At least Rob Williams is excellent
I
at
will
some
say, if
things.
Rob Williams was 100% healthy in that final series, I think it it would have. I'm not saying the Celtics would have won, but I think it would have been a little different because
He
Robert
had-
Williams genuinely probably was like the second best player.
He had
on
the highest
Celtics.
plus minus for the Celtics.
Yeah, he
for
probably
sure.
was the
Had
second.
to.
He probably was like top 2 players on for the
Impact
Celtics.
is crazy.
And he only played like what 20 minutes a night or something like
Yeah.
that. Like his impact on the
Couldn't get
court,
much
it's
better.
very
You could
noticeable.
say the same thing about Middleton. As Middleton was in the Bucks series,
But-
are the Celtics were they making it out?
So
I don't think they are.
I don't even want to be hypocritical. It's going to sound hypocritical. I agree with that, but to be a hypocrite to myself, it's hypotheticals. Like they didn't have Chris Middleton. What would they have? Could they have beaten us with Chris Middleton? Sure, but we don't know. Could we have won with Robert Williams healthy? Maybe, we don't know. Hypotheticals. That's a tough argument to have.
Let me ask you this.
But,
Let me ask you this. Okay, this is strictly heart to heart.
Okay.
Literally,
Okay.
heart to heart.
Heart to heart.
Okay,
All
heart
right,
to
let's
heart.
do it.
Who would you rather have in that series, Jason Tatum or Jimmy Butler? I'd rather have Jimmy Butler.
In what series?
In
And
the
against the
Warriors
Warriors? I mean, if you're going off of like what you saw,
Yeah, I was about
like,
to say, if you
obviously-
gave it- if you
but
asked me
going
now,
into the series,
yeah, I
if
would
you
think
asked me,
Jason
I would
Tatum.
pick
Heart, though.
Tatum.
Heart-
No,
heart is heart.
I understand. I understand. But I'm saying going into the series, I would say Tatum. But you're asking this after what we saw from him.
After like
So
game
it's like,
4,
you
when we
can't-
lost game 4, if you were like, "Can I switch Tatum for Jimmy Butler?" I'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd take
for
Jimmy
sure.
Butler."
But like going
yeah.
into it, like I mean, Tatum. I mean, he had an amazing series against the
Yeah.
Heat. He had an amazing playoffs leading up to the finals. You can't ignore what he
Well, when
did
the
leading up
stage
to
is
it.
the
When
biggest, that's
when the
when
lights
you
are
show
bright,
up.
exactly. And I agree. And that's why I think the inexperience, it being their first time, you learn from it. You get that sour taste in your mouth from losing. You move on. You build off it. You'll be back hopefully in a few years.
Well, this is the other thing too, real quick. You beat Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. Can we argue one of the greatest players that ever played basketball?
Yeah,
Okay. Giannis probably will go down as one of the greatest basketball players of all
Yep.
time.
he will.
And is definitely in the top 3 in the NBA right now.
I think he's
Easily.
number 1. But yeah.
If not, he's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So you get past him, you get past Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
You should have all the confidence in the world.
100. No, I agree with that.
Steph Curry's a different animal.
It ain't like
if
you went past the fucking sisters on the board.
So okay, all right. Let's
Like the Warriors
Okay,
did.
so let's just 2-minute warning here because we've been talking about this for 30 minutes. You can look at that from both sides. So yes,
You said you were hyped.
and
You
and,
said you were
I
hyped.
said this. So I have said this in the past, and I'll admit to it. Boston's road to the finals was much harder, and you'd think that they're more battle tested going into it, right? The Warriors didn't have as hard as a road to the finals, but to look at the other way, the Warriors did not have to use as much. Celtics went to 2 7-game series and had statistically the 3rd closest sweep
They're
in
younger.
history. Younger. I thought that too, but experience trumps youth. Experience trumps youth.
Endurance. You're younger. Do you think
I-
Steph Curry and them? Let's say they did
Tatum,
multiple game sevens. do you think they would have
Tatum played the most points in the playoffs in the last 8 years out of any player in the NBA.
Minutes, you mean?
Minutes. That's what I meant. Minutes. He played 42 minutes a game. That's whether you're 24 or 35. That's a lot of fucking minutes for 24 games. 42 minutes a night. It's a lot. But they wasted a lot of energy in those early rounds. With the Warriors, they had to get through Jokic, an injured Grizzlies team, and then Luka. Just Luka. They did not have to waste as much energy
Okay,
as the
all
Celtics.
right, last thing. I swear we're done.
Okay,
after this. I
last
swear
thing,
we're done.
last thing,
This
last
is the
thing.
the 10 minutes. Last final play.
Okay.
Hike the ball with 2 seconds left.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. Who do you think gave the Warriors a better series?
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. The Memphis Grizzlies or the Boston Celtics?
The Grizzlies.
Thank you. And they got their youth. Their youth.
They're-
That is my point right there.
Their
It's
youth.
youth.
But
I don't know if I agree with the
Grizzlies'
The
flaws
John
were
Morant was
different
out
than
for
the
half
Celtics.
that series.
I think
And they still
people.
went to a game 6.
Yeah,
Game
but
five, game
it
six.
was,
game
it was
six.
game
It
6,
was
but
game
one of the
6.
games was like a 30-point blowout too. But I
The Grizzlies.
We
gave them a
shouldn't have
better
even.
series.
Okay, here. Keep in mind though, Dante. To go with his point, we shouldn't have even won game 1. Like we were down 20 going into the 4th quarter, and we.
what do you
won.
mean you shouldn't have won? They came back and won. They absolutely deserved to
No,
win.
I mean, yes, and the
Yes, they
Warriors
deserve
got
to
stuck
win.
up.
I'm going to go to the other point.
Yeah,
but we're
yeah,
on
okay,
14-2 run.
I don't know. I just don't think the Celtics were prepared. I think the
no, they
Grizzlies
weren't
gave them a
prepared.
best shot.
They got punked by
A
the
better
Warriors.
shot.
They
The
got
Grizzlies
punked
gave
by
them
the
a better
Warriors. Absolutely.
Punked would be the right word.
Yeah, they got
to say.
punked
We
by the
punked
Warriors.
big time. Our wins were our one impressive win was like
Yeah,
impressive.
it was game 1.
Impressive.
Yeah,
It was good.
Mhm. And it set the tone. You thought it would set the tone. It didn't.
yeah.
That's it. Champs know how to bounce back. The
We'll
young
see.
guys don't.
Hey,
But all right.
I will be going to a Celtics game next year, so I will see how well Tatum is.
We just gotta get new players. Our bench has gotta get better.
So okay, and when the bench
I don't want to continue to talk about this.
No.
I'm gonna rant about the bench.
When the bench combines for 10 when the bench combines for 10 points in the last 2 games, I'm sorry, I know Jason Tatum played bad, but you're not winning a
No,
goddamn
100%.
thing when Jordan Poole is outscoring your entire
Pritchard's
bench. 2
a
games in
waste
row.
of space out there, man. And I get what he's like offered in other series, but he wasn't doing
He's not
anything this
playable in
series.
that series. He's not
Unplayable.
playable.
Unplayable.
But the thing
man.
was, the bench was relevant in the other series.
Right, but different
They all
matchups.
had their moments.
The Warriors bench was much better than the Celtics.
Yeah.
For sure.
Jordan Poole
How
is
about the
better.
water?
Jordan Poole and Gary Payton alone are better. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Done.
Hey,
Done
you
talking
said
the
it,
Celtics.
not me.
Done talking about the Celtics.
All right, like and subscribe to
Hey.
the notifications done.
All right, let's talk about a former Boston Celtic, and this is
Glad we got it off the chest.
Yes, we got it
now
off
we
our
can let
chest.
it go. Now it's the offseason.
we got it off our chest. Let's talk about a former Boston Celtic here, and this news broke out a few hours ago.
What happened?
Kyrie Irving and the Nets are at an impasse.
Oh, are they?
So right now, it's not looking like Kyrie Irving
Things aren't all sunshine and rainbows on the
will
earth
be
that's
coming
flat?
back to Brooklyn next year. And as of right now, it looks like the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Knicks are
He's gonna follow his
teams
daddy.
that
He's
are
gonna follow
interested.
His daddy, LeBron. Hey, daddy! Happy Father's Day, fucker!
So first things first, least shocking thing in the world. I think the Nets are sick of Kyrie. I think this is more of a Nets decision than Kyrie decision. I think Kyrie's time in Brooklyn, I think kind of the writing was on the wall, just seeing how last year was going, the way Kevin Durant was kind of talking about things and how the Harden situation went down. And that organization right now is a mess. Kyrie Irving not looking like he's coming back. Guys, I want to hear your thoughts on it, and then we'll talk about where we think he will go if he leaves Brooklyn. So, Josh, you haven't talked in a while. Floor is yours.
I think Kyrie's going to be doing one of two things to whatever team he goes to. Either he's going to give you a lot of stats and it's not going to mean much, and he's not going to play every game, and he's not going to be available when you need him most.
Yep.
Or he's going to completely come back and redeem himself, go a la 2016 Cavs, go off, play every game, be one of the best players.
I still think he's
There's
one of
no
the
in
best
between.
players
He's
in the
not going to
league.
be an average guy on your roster. He's going to either sink your team or make you one of the best teams in the league.
Right.
So there are teams that should take that. The Clippers take that chance. He doesn't play, fuck him. You got a good enough team without him. It doesn't really matter. Knicks, if the Knicks take a chance on him, that's their whole team. If he doesn't play, the Knicks are something.
revolves around him,
exactly.
yeah.
So different teams can offer different things. He could go to the Lakers, and I don't think he would have the ability to not or to pull this shit again. Like LeBron wouldn't let him get away with
Right,
that
right.
because he would get run out of the league if it happened with LeBron for the Lakers for the third time or second time.
Right.
I don't know. He's gonna go to the LeBron clip. He's gonna go to the LeBron team, or he's gonna go to like the Knicks. I don't really see the Clippers that much. I see the Knicks or LeBron for
Okay.
sure. The
He'd
thing
work
about
well with fucking Dolan, whatever the fuck that guy's name
James Dolan. The thing about the
James
Knicks
Dolan.
though is like, what can they offer him in terms of winning? Like they're not a very good team right now.
That would be that. So that would be up to what Kyrie wants. Does he want to be the star of the show? 'Cause
Yeah,
he can
which
be
he
that in
should
New York.
be. Yeah,
or
do,
do you want to go and
put a
try
50
to
a
win?
night. Go put a 50 a night. Who cares? Go be a sick show.
I agree. But if he is gonna go anywhere, it's either gonna be the Lakers, it's either gonna be the Knicks, or it's gonna be just a weird wild card team that just comes out of the blue and whatever. He just
76ers.
goes there. I would know. Like it's happened. I mean, like with
Sixers.
Kawhi Leonard, the Raptors.
Well, that was because San Antonio didn't want to give him to a team that
But
like was
that's
going to be
true.
good.
But I'm saying like we've seen instances where players go to
Yeah.
weird teams, and it's just like you don't expect it.
He has
so
to
yeah.
get traded, right? He can't.
So he has an
walk.
option. He can
Oh,
opt out.
so he can just leave.
He can either pick up his $37 million a year contract or opt out.
He's not opting out.
If another, I mean,
37 million.
another
he could
team
get
could
paid
give him
pretty
that
high.
much.
He's
anywhere.
not getting $40 million a year. So
Oh, you'd
There
be
are some
surprised.
bad
You'd be
organizations.
surprised. You'd
There
be
are some
surprised.
bad
The
organizations.
fucking Hornets would throw that money on him in a second.
there are some
probably.
teams that are desperate.
Yeah,
believe
there's
me.
some bad
Believe
teams
me.
out
Is
there.
it smart? No, but I'm saying there are teams that are desperate.
I could probably think of like six, like the Magic. Why
the
not?
Kings.
What would the Magic?
When was the last time the Kings were relevant?
Yeah,
You know what I
literally.
mean? Like they would
And they
happily
have a
take
point
someone
guard
like
and they still
him.
do it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So Kyrie Irving. This is going to be the storyline. I think.
I think the Nets are going to suck without him.
It matters who they bring back.
I mean,
they
didn't even
get
think about
Simmons.
this. They played with him for most of last season without him.
That's why they were 7th seed.
That's true.
That's why they were the
Kevin
But
Durant,
now they have
Durant
Ben
was
Simmons.
banged up too.
But now
as
they have
well.
Ben Simmons, who's good.
Ben Simmons,
Ben Simmons is
he has to
good.
prove himself. But
Yeah, but
when he was
he'll
healthy,
be fine,
he was
especially during the
fine.
regular season.
Right.
And you bring in someone else. I'm assuming if Kyrie leaves, you bring in someone
You-
else.
if they don't, then
So-
that's when. If they
Yeah.
don't, then you're in trouble.
Kevin Durant, hear me out, could be good with a team of like very good role players. He doesn't need another star as to his level.
I would love to see
He
Kevin
could-
Durant solo dropping like 35 a game.
Could you imagine him with like Ben Simmons and then they go out and get like Malcolm Brogdon and then keep the rest of them like Mills,
Yeah, they're
Seth
still
Curry,
good.
Drummond?
Yeah.
Joe Harris.
Why
comes
wouldn't
back.
Joe Harris comes back? All the players they had, all that depth, Bruce Brown,
Andre Drummond,
and then
Bruce Brown.
Claxton, all these guys, and they just leave Kyrie and they go out and get like Brogdon, who's very good instead.
Right.
Why can't they do better than they did this year? Kevin Durant is still a top 3 player in the NBA,
I agree.
and they have the role players and the depth. It's just the fact that a lot of their guys didn't play this year for him. They just were like, I'm not going to be here.
That organization
It
was a
is.
mess this year.
The Nets were the biggest
was a
mess in the
headache,
league.
yeah.
The Nets were the best. But, I mean, the Lakers were a mess, but the Lakers also were bad.
They
The
were
Nets were
old.
good, but the
Yeah.
Nets were a mess.
Right.
And that's the Mets. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's
All right, we can move on from basketball.
Nick, do you have anything else to add to that?
Kyrie's a piece of shit.
All right. Say less.
That's all.
That's all.
That's all. Boys.
Thank you. All right. Next topic. Let's talk about a little Drake. Drake.
Hey.
Ah, speaking of pieces of
So Drake dropped.
Beautiful segue.
Drake dropped a surprise album
Surprise.
on Friday, and boy oh boy did this album get plenty of mixed reviews. Right, Colin? Plenty of mixed reviews.
Just
I
like
see-
Jason
I
Tatum's
see-
performance. Sorry. What? Too soon? Too soon?
No. I see you smirking over there, Colin.
For the sake of how many rants there have been already, I'll keep quiet.
All right.
Hey,
So
speaking of rants, what you doing with that spray bottle? Bring it over here.
a lot of people consider this album to be Drake's worst album, and when he was on video, I think it was Instagram or something like that, he kind of not responded, but he was just openly talking about it. He was like, "It's all good if you don't get it yet. We're waiting for you to catch up. We're ahead of you guys, but you'll catch up with us." Let me
That's
just
the douchiest thing I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
it is pretty douchey.
Douchiest
Let me
thing
say
I've
this
ever
though.
heard. I'm a Drake fan.
I do think this Drake album was not his worst. I do think it is one of his worst.
Scorpion's horrible.
Scorpion is his worst album, in
Yeah.
my opinion. But for what the album was, listen, people were expecting like if you're not reading this, it's too late too, and it's a house party album with just like dance music and stuff. Not everyone likes that stuff. When you're expecting something, you get something else completely different, especially something that Drake's never made before. You're not gonna like it. Me personally, for what it is, I don't mind it. Like, there's definitely some songs that aren't good on it. The one where it's bed squeaking the whole time, I can't stand that song. But there are some songs that were good. I think a lot of people, they listened to it when it came out at 12 o'clock at night and then on their way to work on 6 a.m. on Friday. You're not going to like it. You're not even awake. I think
You better be awake if you're driving.
well, yeah, I'm not awake enough to like really like I think as time goes on, like people kind of settle down a little bit. It's not the worst piece of work that's come out ever. It's just one of those things. You just kind of have to listen to it in the right setting. And
It ain't my fault. I
Whatever.
got fucking pulled over for DWD.
he's also not for nothing. I mean, listen, people can shit on Drake all he wants. He still sold like 300,000 units and
Yeah,
he's going to
he
go
can
number
put out
one.
anything, bro,
the
and
dude could
sell
put out an
that.
album of a mic next to his toilet and he's just shitting the entire time and it's going to go number one. It's true. It's just the truth.
Do you think if Drake, we talked about this the other day, Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, and Kanye all dropped the same day in a magical world, who gets the most listens that day?
Drake.
No.
I think
Kanye
Drake.
West has a following that's unreal.
Well, we looked at when CLB and Donda came out. Drake outsold him by like 150K first week.
That's because people kept pushing Donda back. Like, you got to people were sick and tired of the announcements.
Drake. Well,
of Donda.
CLB was supposed to drop last January. It came out 9 months late.
Yeah, but he was like, okay. He also
So-
CLB was like, Drake goes, it's coming out this day. He did it one time, and then he pushed it back 9 months later, and it comes out that day.
That's Kanye though. If you look at all
no, but
Kanye's albums,
Kanye is like, it's coming out this week. No, it's next week. No, it's 3 weeks from now. No, it's 3 weeks from that.
But that's Kanye.
Drake, I agree. He said CLB, and then it got pushed back. But that only happened one time. Kanye's was week after week after week after week, and it still was like
True, and I do
unbelievable.
think Donda was better than Drake's album. I'm not even
Oh, it's better.
disputing
quality.
that. Yeah, it's better.
Kanye also had Donda listening parties, so the album was basically out by now.
Yeah, that's also true.
Mm.
That's
Hey,
true.
I think Drake would get most listens, but hey, that's hypothetical as well.
We want to talk about no. Fuck your hypothetical bullshit.
J. Cole would be last on that list. But I love J. Cole.
This
would be
guy
last.
says fucking magical. I'll tell you something that's magical. Halle Berry, Jennifer Aniston, and a 1980s Pamela Anderson in the same bed, and your dick gets ripped off. Mic drop.
I mean that.
That's what we
I
call
mean,
magic.
Which day is
Do we have
that?
any argument?
Which day was that?
Does
Okay.
anyone want to argue that? Anyone want to argue that? Because I don't. I can't argue that.
Mic drop.
Have you listened to Drake's album? No.
not because of what I just
You
haven't
just
gotten to it.
haven't. Well, Nick, I don't think you would like it. I'll
know
just
what?
give you the heads up.
No problem.
There's-
I could listen to it on my new commute home. Colin, thank you. I could, but I won't.
The song with 21 Savage was by far the best. It was by far the best song,
The
hands down.
top song off Donda. I just see the comment. Amanda said, "What's your favorite song from Donda?" The best one is the Andre 3000 song. Clearly.
On the deluxe version,
Yeah,
fun,
of course.
thousand
The Andre 3000
percent.
song.
1000%.
Is amazing. I think it's "Life of the Party." Is the name
Life of the Party.
song.
I like "Come to
amazing.
Life." I like the song West Side Gun. I
Heaven and
like the
Hell's
album.
a really good
Moon,
song, Tom.
Moon was a great song.
Yeah, there were good songs.
There were
on
there were
Donda.
great songs on that album. Great songs. I'm not even disputing that.
CLB was
better.
awful. 7 a.m. on Bridal Path or whatever it wasn't bad. And then
There were a
Next
few.
Song-
Sales rated.
There were a few songs on CLB that I pick and choose and put them in playlists, but the whole
Was
album.
Weston Road flows on
that
it?
was views. That was views.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, that was a
That was
long
right.
time. That was like when I
We're
was
back in
high
2015
school.
now. Yeah,
Jesus
they're taking a
Christ.
time machine. But all right, Drake. Hopefully his next album's better.
Drake.
All right, little Game of Thrones news. Kit Harington will return as Jon Snow in Game of Thrones sequel series. Now, I have
freaking go.
I have not watched Game of Thrones. I do plan on starting it very soon because it is a show I do want to watch because everyone's seen it. I just kind of want to be in on it. Josh, I'm sure you've seen it.
Seen every episode.
What are your thoughts on this?
I think Kit Harington was the second or third best character on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely was one of the best acted characters on the show. Getting a spin-off sequel of his own is going to be very cool to see. There's a lot to explore because for those who have seen Game of Thrones, I'll try not to spoil anything.
Yeah, please
for you.
don't. Please don't.
But like the way everything ended, people are doing their own things now. People aren't all together.
They made it so there could
Yeah,
be a
it
spin-off.
led up
okay.
to a point where you can go a lot of places, especially Arya. I won't say anything about Arya, but
Gotcha.
Arya's probably got the most exciting path forward. They haven't announced anything for her, but I'm hoping they do. 'Cause
Is-
she's got, for all those who watched it, they will remember where Arya left off at. Like, her story going forward is definitely the most exciting.
Is this the Dragon series or is that a prequel? Isn't there something coming
What?
on HBO?
Oh,
at the
okay,
end of the
no.
year?
So, A House of Dragons
Yes.
is coming out this August.
And that's
I wanna
not-
say,
that's not
and that is
this.
unrelated
Okay,
to this.
okay.
That is a prequel to, I think it's 100 years. It's
Oh, it's a prequel.
It's about
Okay,
Viserys Targaryen and like
The
story.
backstory, yeah.
Yeah, the backstory of dragons, the Song of
Okay.
Fire and Dance.
Okay, do you think that Game of Thrones is literally just going to make a shit ton of spin-offs? Do you think that
I think the big thing for Game of Thrones is because they did so well and they were allowed to run for so long, they established so many side arcs and things like that. So they could do like, this is going to sound like nothing to you, but they can do something off like the Arya storyline or what she does in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You could do something about all the Man of Many Faces and like the Assassin's Order. You could do something about the dragons. You could do something about the Night Walkers. That's something a lot of people want to see is like the Night King, how that shit all even
Mm-hmm. Right,
began
right,
and how it
right.
started. And that's not really going to get touched down, to my knowledge, with the prequel series because that's going to be about like the kingdoms in Westeros.
Gotcha.
Not really about and the Iron Throne. Not really about like Night King.
Okay.
But like, yeah, there's a lot to see.
There's a lot of
to
doors
say
they
about
left
Game of
open. They
Thrones.
left a lot of doors open.
A lot of doors open, and everyone has a bad taste in their mouth because of the finale of Game of Thrones historically being known as
Right.
one of the worst.
I've never seen the show, but I've heard most 90% of people said the ending was awful.
It's one of those things where like it wasn't like it was a joke ending or like, oh my god, they're just spitting in our faces. It's just like they could have gone a lot of different ways, and it feels like they went the worst.
Wasn't
way.
there an issue like with the writers? Like they ran out, like they were going off books, and then the books ended,
Well, the
and
books,
they just
George R.R. Martin wrote a certain amount, and he's still writing. The movies passed them in the 5th season, maybe. And after the 5th season, they were like, all right, we got to come up with our own storylines.
Uh-huh.
And so they did well in the 6th season. And then I think in the 7th season, I could be wrong, and that timeline could be off a little bit. But I'm pretty sure in the last season, they were just like, all right, this is all up into our own interpretation. And that's where it all went
gotcha.
wrong.
Okay, makes sense. All right,
Personally, I love the finale. She might be one of one.
Who?
Amanda.
Amanda.
Yeah,
I
don't
haven't
know
heard many
anyone who
people
liked the
say
finale.
that. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment. My opinion, or at least how I look at it, Game of Thrones is a very fantasy-based show. I think that's fair to say, and I think the way again, I've never seen this, so I could be wrong, but like I feel like the way the show was, there are just so many alternate endings to that show that people wanted something. Then when they didn't get it, they were upset by it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like you were expecting something, but it didn't happen, so you're like, oh, this is
Yeah,
awful.
anytime someone doesn't like.
Because you guys,
I don't want to
would play like fantasy football for Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
like that's how fantasy.
I
was.
played fantasy Game of Thrones. So each week, like me and all my friends who were watching, there was like 8 of us. We well at the beginning of the season, we all threw in $20 and we drafted teams of the characters who were left in the final season because a lot of people died throughout the
Right,
show. So the
right.
people who were left going into the final season announced. We draft each of us get I think it was 4 players from the season, and there's different points for like if you got to kill. If you burn someone alive, if you steal, if your character has sex, if your character's naked, if you create an alliance, things like that, you all get points for it. And then
Gotcha.
there's a guy apparently who goes
Points
up.
for sex.
Yeah,
Ding, ding,
there were some characters. There were some
Jackpot.
characters. Yeah, but long story short, it was just fantasy football for Game of Thrones, and it was amazing.
That
And
is
there's
cool.
no other show I could ever do that with.
All
other than
right, that is cool. That is very cool. Hopefully these series
Points
will
for sex.
will make up for
I think I found the new Lumbling game.
the ending. Lumberland Fantasy. That would
Lumbling
be-
Fantasies.
All right, all
Featuring
right.
Big Nick.
So we got 3 more topics here, and then we'll get to animal fact. People in the comments, make sure to put in your animals. We'll read them off, and Nick will have you decide.
Sounds good.
Next topic, kind of sticking with fantasy movie, all that type of stuff. Chris Evans wants to return to the MCU as the Human Torch.
Is this the guy that's on The Office?
No, that is John Krasinski. Chris Evans is Captain America.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's Captain America, and I don't. I'm
Me and
saying no
Kevin talked about
spoilers.
this already.
You can spoil it for me. I don't give a shit.
Everyone knows what happens to Captain America. He's kind of out. But Human Torch with the Incredibles and stuff like that, I guess that's still open, and I guess you can kind of reintroduce
He's
them.
the Human Torch with the Incredibles.
What?
Fantastic
No,
Four.
not.
The Incredibles.
No, I meant what I said. The Incredible. No, a Fantastic Four. So yeah, I mean, I guess if that's the only
You
way
should
for me
live
to-
tweet. They just said you should like live tweet the series while you go through Game of Thrones. It's very
Ah.
rare people that don't like. Most people have had Game of Thrones ruined for them or have already seen it. It'd be interesting to see you live tweet it because I've seen it twice already.
I
all
feel
the
like
way
there's
through.
that one dick that's gonna be like, "Oh, just wait till
Oh,
you get
that's
to
true.
season
Like
8
if you're
when
live tweeting
someone-
at the first comment,
That's
it's gonna be
why
like, oh, get ready for the blah 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 wedding.
There's a lot of there's more bad people out there than good that would
100%,
want to ruin the show for you. So
100%.
I really love the suggestion, but I'll probably stay away from that. But Josh, you're more of a MCU movie buff than me. What are your
Me and
thoughts
Kev
on this?
talked about this a little earlier. So I don't think it's a good idea to bring in people who have already just recently played something, because then you're
mixing-
fucking
it's,
with
like,
the
confusing
timelines and things like
everything,
that.
yeah.
And people who didn't really follow the movies that closely, they're going to be like, wait, I just saw this guy as Captain America 2 minutes ago. How is he a new guy already?
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's going to turn people off to the movies. I mean, me and Kevin were talking about, like, there is a way to incorporate him as the Human Torch as a cameo. You bring him in as, like, a multiverse type
Sure.
guy.
Yeah, like a
basically what they
multi-
did
like
in
a
the new.
Doctor Strange
I won't
type
ruin
of
anything about the
thing.
new movie, but what they had in the new movie, there was some multiversal stuff there. So, like, you could do things like that, but I don't think it's a good idea. And there are a lot of people who could play Human Torch. Human Torch is, like, coming from a guy who read the comics before he really watched any of the movies. Human Torch is a very generic guy. He's just a regular white dude. Anyone can play that guy.
With the buzz
Literally-
cut, yeah.
Yeah, literally anyone can play that guy. Like, he can be played by a lot of people.
I mean, if they give me a few $1 million, I'd get a buzz cut and I'll be the Human Torch. Set me on fire. Let's go, MCU. Put me with Jessica Alba. I'll only do it if Jessica Alba is in there. So
Just give me the $2 million. This is hurt. Money don't talk back.
okay, all right. 2 more topics. This one is a little gruesome. So maybe not gruesome, but
Gruesome.
a woman was eaten by 20 cats after she passed away.
She was eaten by what?
20 cats after she passed away. So according to the New York Post,
feel it.
police were horrified. The police were horrified when they discovered the partially eaten remains of the woman, who has not been named after receiving a call from a concerned coworker. Cops were alerted by one of her employees, who said she could not contact her boss. Inside her home, police found her partially eaten body surrounded by the hungry cats. Police believe she had been dead for 2 weeks as they probed her decomposing remains. The cats were left alone on their own for 2 weeks. There was no food, so what else to eat? Said one animal rescue expert who cared for some of the surviving cats. So
Ugh.
basically, this woman died, and the cats had nothing to eat.
So
they
many things
started
wrong. First
eating.
off, don't be a cat person.
Why
Like,
have
I get
20
having
cats?
a cat, but
I
like,
have
don't
2
be a
cats.
cat lady.
That's fine.
20?
20 though,
20?
that's excessive.
They're clearly talking to you. They're talking to each other, and they're forming up. They're like,
They're
all right,
plotting.
the second, yeah, exactly. The second she goes down, she probably didn't even die. She probably tripped and fell and knocked herself out, and then she was dead before she could do anything.
Right,
the
right.
cats all got to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
dude.
that's just
Fuck
the fucking
cats,
animal
bro.
chain,
Fuck
bro.
Cats.
That's
Cats suck. Dogs would never do that. If that was 20 dogs, they would carry your body to a hospital. They would systematically
They-
put
they
you on their
drive the
belt.
ambulance.
Yeah, they'd get in the car and drive you there.
Very true. All right.
Cats,
so
bro. Cats
Fuck the
suck.
cats.
my cat Cole is cool.
Except
though.
Cole, I guess.
My
There's a
cat's-
couple good Cole.
He's a good one.
cats.
He's a good guy. He's one of the good guys.
He's one of the good
He
ones.
wouldn't eat me if I died. I hope not. All right. And last topic.
Watch that bitch turn on you.
Last topic. Last movie topic. Top Gun Maverick is officially Tom Cruise's highest-grossing film ever.
Really?
Highest-grossing film ever. Let me
That's wild.
pull this up. It earned more than $800 million at the global box office. Is its final numbers. I haven't seen the movie.
How well they fucking marketed it. It was one of the best marketed movies I've ever
I
seen
feel
in my
like, dude,
entire life.
I literally I see this shit every social media app, like TikTok. Like it's literally like one of the biggest trends. Like people
I've-
shave their mustaches.
I have
because
never
of-
seen a movie as. No, it's a lie. Star Wars, the first time Star Wars came back after the original 70s movies, that was the best marketing campaign of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's historic how well that was marketed. This is like up there with that.
Yeah.
It was marketed perfectly.
I mean,
Like,
it was a
perfectly.
sequel to a 40-year-old movie.
Yeah, and it hit every single demographic. All the old people wanted to go see it because it was like something from their time, and like not even old, but just like the older generation.
Right.
Everyone who was younger wanted to see what the hype was about,
Mm-hmm.
and then everyone in between couldn't miss out on like the most phenomenal movie all summer.
Tom Cruise is a good-looking guy. Some girls want to go
Yeah,
watch Tom
there you go
Cruise. The
for
guys
that.
with the
Yeah.
mustache.
Guys were like, all right, this is a real like awesome like adrenaline pumping
Right,
movie.
100%. I do want to say something. I don't want to say any names. I'm not trying to call people out, but it is kind of fishy how this whole mustache trend came popular after I shaved my face and brought my mustache in. So I'm not saying like Tom Cruise and Maverick kind of stole my flow here.
What are you saying?
I'm kind of saying that they stole my flow a little bit.
So you're saying?
I mean, I'm just saying this whole mustache trend wasn't popular until, I came around. But that's just me.
Humble brag. Humble brag.
Humble brag. That's all. That's all. But all right, you seen the movie? You seen Maverick?
I have not.
No.
It's one of the few things I have not seen. It's one of those things I wanted to see in theaters because people were saying
Mm-hmm.
it's like a spectacle to see in theaters, but been very, very busy. Once summer rolls around, I don't find myself going to the movies that much anymore just because.
I thought you were gonna say once summer rolls around, I'll make my way there. I'm like, I'm pretty sure summer starts in a few days.
Oh, yeah, no. It's just like once summer rolls around, I'm not.
Yeah,
like-
no, I get
I just
that.
don't want to be in a movie theater for that long.
Yeah, it
but
gets
yeah.
hot. Yeah, for sure.
There'll be like I'm going to see Thor with Kevin in 2 weeks. So it's not like I'm not going to go. Like
I
Thor
want-
is something
I
I,
wanna see
will.
Thor.
It's appointment.
I'll go
viewing.
with you guys. to
Yeah,
see
that's
Thor.
appointment
I want to
viewing.
see that one. All right. Well, that's it for topics. Do you have, Simon? Do you have any animals in there that people are suggesting for Nick?
I'm not seeing it yet. I saw we got a naughty comment in here, but
Oh.
I'll leave that alone.
Whoa.
Leave
Throw
that
your
alone.
animals in there, please.
Throw some animals in there.
Honey badger.
Honey badger.
Yeah, we can do a honey.
Honey.
badger.
You know what,
That's a great
guys?
pick.
Save your comments. Honey badger. You want to do
Why
honey
not
badger?
Go right to
Yeah,
the
sure.
source.
Fine,
All
we'll
right.
do a honey
That's
badger.
let me see this naughty comment.
Where is it? Charles.
Who? Charles? Wait, the mustache one? Oh, my what? Okay, yeah, no, we're definitely not doing that. Yeah, no.
That was the only animal-related thing I saw.
Yeah,
Hold on.
well, we're gonna keep that one in there. We're
Before
not.
we do this, we gotta read.
It's a two-parter.
For all you people out there who are still watching and that are stuck on the Game of Thrones stuff, I didn't hate the finale. I just thought they could have done. I'm not gonna root it for Dante. It could have gone. I think every other way it could have ended would have been better, other than the way it did end. And that's a really hard way to say it without spoiling anything. But you know what I mean by like who was in charge when everything's over. I think it went to the worst person. That's just what I have to say. And I have a friend in my friend group who was like very into the way it ended. He's like, oh, that's exactly how it should have
Who?
been. What?
Who?
Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly really liked it.
I'll anything that he says, I believe. So I think.
Trustworthy guy.
I trust him with my life.
Trustworthy guy.
All right.
All right,
Here we go.
Animal fact: honey badger. The honey badger.
Honey badger.
Shout out Tyron Matthew.
Yeah.
Speaking of honey badgers and speaking of eating human flesh, did you know that honey badgers will eat anything? And I mean anything, including dead humans.
So like cats, kind of.
They are omnivores, which means they eat meat and vegetables. So anything from insects, eggs, plants, roots, bulbs, reptiles, small animals, human flesh, they will eat it.
Eggs, like hard-boiled eggs. That's gross.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, you're sitting there. I didn't see
Oh,
you there.
snap, AJ.
Sorry, I know you were sitting behind me.
They are super smart animals when it comes to brains. These guys come at the top of their class. They have the ability to work out, to use tools to their benefit, and be very clever at
Rehabilitation.
Thank you. What he just said, Century in South Africa. Taught himself to use some sticks, rocks, and a rake to make a crafty escape from his enclosure. Watch this video to see how clever they really are.
All right, play it. I gotta see this. Anyone, look up honey badger videos on YouTube.
It's a lion.
That's not a honey badger.
We should.
How long is this
I was
video?
gonna say check, see how long.
Shit,
it is.
Yeah, let's go up.
Okay.
What are they're locking it in? What are they? Oh, they want to see if they can get out themselves. Oh, okay.
Look at this
This
motherfucker.
motherfucker. This
Dude,
motherfucker. Right
wow, look at this thing.
Motherfucker, he's opening the lock.
He's opening 2 locks.
Whoa.
What?
Oh my god. That's
It's not even a lock. It's like the lock itself is locked behind
Yeah.
wire, and then
Wow.
you have to do that and then unlock it.
Not
would
me.
Like let's put it this way.
Not
I would
me.
be locked there forever. I wouldn't be able to get out.
No,
of that. I would not be able to get out of that.
I just asked them to give me
What
food every
the
day at least.
fuck?
Wow.
Psychotic.
Honey badger.
I didn't realize they were that
Psychotic.
smart. What the fuck?
I thought they were a joke.
I
literally thought they were
don't
a
hear
joke.
anyone ever talking about honey badgers. I thought they were irrelevant. Tigers?
What? No
Yeah,
way.
What the fuck?
A
They're not afraid of a
full-grown
tiger. They're not afraid of tigers.
How big? All right.
They might not be afraid.
How big can these things get?
Yeah,
Is there
I
anything
need to
about
know
how big
a
they
honey
can get?
badger is.
Big enough to take on tigers.
Let's see.
The claws. They look vicious.
We got some. Let's see if I
They
got
can
some.
kill a tiger. Let me tell you
find
something.
it.
They can kill me. I think I'd just lay down and take it at that point. I'd just be like, just take me away.
They have very sharp and strong teeth. They can break through a tortoise shell and even metal locks on their bends.
A tortoise? What? Are you shitting
These things are
me?
badass.
They sound badass.
They can be super stinky too.
Hmm.
At the base of their tail is a very smelly gland which contains a stinky liquid, Snake, with mostly use of the mark of their territory, Snake. But if they feel threatened, Snacky, they release a stink bomb. That's a snacky move.
Stinky.
All right. They have long nails.
Mm-hmm.
This enables them to incredible diggers, making themselves a burrow to sleep in. But they can also dig to grab prey underground.
What the
They're
fuck?
only 20
This
to
is God's
35
creature.
pounds.
God made this? What the hell kind of creature is this?
20 to 35
pounds.
20 to 35
That's
pounds.
it?
That's it. And 11 to 22 for a female, and it's only about like 3 feet big.
So it's 3 feet long.
Yeah, 3 feet
What?
across.
That's oh my god.
not that big.
That's nuts.
it's like an overgrown skunk. You could kick the fuck out
I was
of
gonna say it looked
You
like a
could punch
skunk in the video. No. I'd say
They have thick
far away.
skin. In fact, it is the same thickness as a buffalo skin.
They got thick skin. They can take jokes. They can take
Maybe we'll
insults.
invite the honey badgers, the joke of the day, on Wednesday. They're 50 times heavier than the honey badger. Their skin is rubbery and like a set of loose clothing, which allows them to move around and brilliantly form self-defense against bigger predators.
Wow. Yeah, like tigers. Like Jesus.
Last fact I got here. They are born blind and hairless. When they come into this world, they are completely dependent on their mom, who carries them around for a month. After that, they are on their own. Although their hair straightens and grows, in a couple weeks they gain eyesight, and they're most dependent on their great sense of smell at an adult life.
Wow. I learned a lot right there.
I learned so much
Not
today.
even kidding. That might. I'm being dead serious.
sucker.
I'm being dead serious. That may have been like one of the most interesting animal facts that we've done.
Yeah, I didn't know much about the honey badger.
Like
to
I'm
be
not
honest.
saying I'm never interested in like other ones that we talk about, but like that was fucking crazy.
That was a
I didn't think
wild
honey
video.
badgers were relevant at all. I didn't think they were all that. I guess not. All right. Well, I'm staying the fuck away from a honey badger. Hell out of here. All right.
Moral of the day.
Are there? I think that's all the time we have. Well, thank you guys for listening. Obviously, Patreon users, if you guys are listening to this as a podcast form and you guys want to be in on the conversation, head over to Patreon, get behind the paywall. We are live Monday and Wednesdays, and we are on YouTube Live on Fridays as well. Like always, head over to our YouTube, like, subscribe, check out us on other platforms, put on those notification bells so when we do have videos, we don't have any coming out tonight, but when we do have videos come out, you get to see them as soon as they drop. Well, boys, I think this was a good episode. We
It's
talked
been
about
really
the Celtics.
fun,
We
everyone.
talked a lot about Celtics. Talked a lot about movies. We had some good conversations
We
today.
hit all the bases. Just
Great
remember,
conversations.
Game of Thrones could have done a lot better.
That's what they say. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday, and until then, have a good one.
That's
good
a
one.
wrap.